Okay, who's ready to talk about Texas? I know that that's not exactly a very happy thought for most of you. In fact, actually, I'm pretty certain that anytime I say, hey, let's talk about Texas, they usually think something's wrong coming from my channel. I even see the responses in chat. Also, Jack, well, I was just messing with you. I specifically just wanted to mess with you. But before we talk about Texas, let's go ahead and talk about something that doesn't make us anywhere near as mad. Okay? If you're okay with that. The fan art section. This piece from Ivana Dragmeyer. Owos. Aras. You wanted my friend? It's yours. As long as you have enough coins.
Never.
I don't give credit. If any of you are fans of YouTube poops, you know this whole fucking meme. You know this whole meme. But the amount... Okay, I want to just talk about the amount of detail that goes into a piece like this. Phantom Rem, thank you very much for using your coins for an... You fucking monster. Okay, look. We've got Catboy Milk. We've got Nekosaurus, a Chibisaurus. We've got the Maid Saurus over here as fucking porcelain dolls. We've got the GF Saurus that sits here on the chat. Just kind of headbanging over here. We've got the Vaporeon and the Chow from the studio. We've got the Slime Saurus over here. I see that the Owo tapestry is over here, and the incorrect tapestry is over here. Just all the fucking detail in this. There's so fucking much. It's insane. Look at the wall of the stand. What do you mean? Funkin' Source? Yeah, it's right there. But I just thought this piece was really fucking cool, and I used it as a pause screen for a little bit because it is really freaking neat. Also, this song is really obnoxious. I hate Cosmic Eternity. That's infinitely better. Okay, as always, everyone, if you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is drop it in the fan art section. With that said, let's go ahead and roll the intro. And now that we're here, let's go ahead and talk about Texas. So, Governor Abbott has been hard at work getting rid of human rights for people. Texas governor signs bill that bans transgender girls from female sports. Yep. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. So, let's continue here. Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott has signed into bill a law that will require public school students to compete in interscholastic athletic competitions based on biological sex. When the bill goes into effect in January, transgender students will be forced to compete on the team that corresponds with the sex on their birth certificate, which may differ from their gender identity. Ah, yes, because your sports ball is more important than children who would commit suicide. But, you know. While the bill's text states that it will address past discrimination against girls in athletics, LGBT advocates say that it will prevent transgender athletes from participating on teams designated for their gender identity. Emmett Paley, CEO and Executive Director of the Trevor Project, which works to prevent suicide among LGBTQ youth, said even though the Texas bill has been signed, the fight isn't necessarily over. They said the Trevor Project will be there to support 24/7 and continue working with their partners to challenge this law and protect trans and non-binary Texans using the hashtag #LetKidsPlay. And of course, here we are. Now, remember, if I could just throw out there again, the Olympics, literally, the Olympics Committee has said that if a person has been on hormones for a year, then the functional differences between them and a cis person are very minimal, especially considering there are cis people who get discriminated against when bills like this end up happening, because they end up... Cis women can have an overabundance of testosterone. You realize that, right? Like, that's a thing that you understand. If people really want to go with the whole, like, ah, yes, the magic testosterone, the performance-enhancing drug that I'm injecting directly into my scrotum. No, just fucking stop. Just fucking stop. 7 other states have passed similar laws this year, according to Reuters. In Florida, Republican Governor Ron DeSantis signed into law a bill that bans transgender girls and women from competing on female sports teams at the high school and college level. Now, here's the interesting part. College level. So, at high school level, you at least have an argument, right? There are some people who identify as women who have not gone through, or have not been able to get puberty blockers, and have not been able to go through HRT as they are minors, and therefore have whatever advantages you are so terribly worried about them actually having going into sports. Okay? You have a small bit of an argument there. I still don't think that, the actual sport is as important as the potential suicidality and discrimination that comes on your, minority groups. I just personally, I guess I have a very different set of values than you do. But I do find it very awkward when you try to argue that at the college level, when they are likely of age to have been on HRT for long enough, they have probably already gone through the puberty blocking process, potentially, literally to the point where the Olympics Committee would say, yeah, they're fine to compete. Apparently, even at that level, Ron DeSantis is like, nah, fuck them. Can a governor even regulate college sports? Good fucking question, but he's gonna try. Because now that he can't lick Trump's toes anymore, he's gonna try to do all the damage he can before he gets knocked out of office. Abbott, I thought. So Abbott is the one who did it for high schoolers specifically. DeSantis is the one who did it for college level as well. They're both pieces of work. The law, which was signed on the first day of Pride Month, states that women and girls must play on the sports team of their biological sex on the birth certificate. Therefore, a transgender girl whose birth certificate denotes her biological sex as male cannot play on a girl's team. But in April, the NCAA Board of Governors, which oversees the main governing body of college sports, said that it firmly and unequivocally supports the opportunity for transgender student athletes to compete in college sports. The board said they would only hold NCAA championships at locations where hosts can commit to providing an environment that is safe, healthy, and free of discrimination. Despite this, a Republican-led national campaign, which began in Idaho in March of 2020, is aiming to bar athletes who were assigned a male gender at birth from competing against those assigned female in public schools or colleges. Idaho's ban has been blocked by a federal court, pending the outcome of a legal challenge against the measure. Now, this is the point where we need to have a talk. So, this is where we have to have a conversation. It is no... What's the best word for it? It's no surprise that here in the United States right now, and even in the UK, more legislation has been introduced in the last couple years, specifically against trans people, than in any years previously. I believe we actually went over how many were there earlier this year, and it was an insane amount, at least double what we've seen in previous years. Why is this the case? My theory largely is that Republicans understand now that they have lost the battle on gay rights. They've lost that battle ages ago. Their new battleground is trans rights. Any way they can see to fuck over trans people under the veneer of, we're just very concerned about biological women, which does a couple of things. It actually leaves trans men out of the conversation completely, which is really weird to me. It's really fucking strange to me that trans men just get left out of that conversation completely. But they always do this under this veneer of concern, this veneer of, hey, we're just trying to make things better for our minority groups that we care about. So fuck your minority groups. That's basically what it ends up being. Hentai King and Planet Sid, thank you both for the follows. Hell, some states want to ban interracial marriage again. That's news to me. Which one? Link articles in chat. I don't know what states are actually doing that. Dear God, why? Jack and Quill, it's fine, Suris. I don't actually exist. I'm just a figment of Republican nightmares. True. I hope And I'm going to echo what Salem said, but I'm going to make it a lot more graphic. Salem said that I hope a group of very muscular trans men form a team just to prove a point and piss people off. So, my hope is that a group of muscular trans men form that team and absolutely dominate, quote, biological men completely. My problem, though, is that if that did happen, I would be very, very concerned that Republicans would then take that information and go, you see, they took the magic fake tea that was harvested from the depths of Satan's bowels, and by injecting it into their being, they have gained superpowers. They are the Trans Mask Army. And I just don't want that. I don't. But that's just me looking at worst case scenarios. You meant play against women because that will make people cry? Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Like, okay, cool. Yep. We'll just have this group of, quote, biological women fighting against, in basketball or whatever sport you're using. We'll just go ahead and do that. That'd be fine. It's a completely even fight, right? No? Why? What's the difference? Again, fucking the Olympics literally has gone on record and said that after a year of HRT, the percentage of variance between the body chemistry of a cis female and a trans female is so minuscule that it's not even worth them considering at that point. Like, just... Again, your fucking sports ball is not more important than trans kids' identities. I'm sorry, it's just not. It's just not. But, anywho, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'm sure there's a whole fucking conversation that's going to happen about this. Why is it that the trans women in sports conversation was a hypothetical like a year and a half ago that divided the entire atheist community? And now we're here where it's actually affecting people's lives, and boy howdy, do those hypotheticals sound really dumb now. Anyways, insert end of video tagline here. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. It really means a lot to me. If you want access to behind-the-scenes content for the channel, please consider checking out my Patreon. I do weekly vlogs over there, where I give real-life updates to what's going on behind the scenes on the channel, stuff that you don't really get over here, and even on Twitch. Patreon also helps the channel's stability a whole lot. Without Patreon, I wouldn't be able to do this at all. Especially with the kind of content that I do, neither YouTube nor Twitch are the most stable sources of income. If you are a $20 and up patron, then you will be featured on the ending slides as shown in the beginning of the end credits. If you want to catch the streams where all this content comes from, then consider heading over to Twitch and following. And if you want to continue watching over here on YouTube, maybe consider clicking one of the end screen videos. And once again, I want to thank you so much for spending your time with me over on my channel. I wouldn't be able to do literally anything that I'm doing over here on YouTube without each and every one of you. So, thank you.